Good morning.
Morning.
Welcome to Shooting It on the Breeze.
Shooting the breeze. At home with Miki and Olivia. It rolls off the tongue, really. I don't know why you can't remember.
It is cute. At home, shoot the breeze. At home with Miki and Olivia.
Yeah.
I love that.
You're the one who came up with it. So
I did?
yes.
Oh, yeah. No, I like it.
Yeah.
Some things just don't stick in my brain.
Mm-hmm.
So it feels like we were just here because we were just here on
A
Monday.
few days ago, yeah.
We've been trying to do these once a week, but because of last week's schedule. So thank you, all of you.
Yes.
And we just talk during the week. We talk about all the nice women.
We'll send each other the comments and yeah.
This
look
week's
what this person said. That's so funny.
This week's winning comment comes from none other than one of our male listeners.
Yes. I know exactly.
You're the one that pointed it out. And the comment is on YouTube. If you've watched these silly episodes, you will know. But it was from our nephew, Derek. And what did he say?
It was the episode where you were talking about Dad calling his principal and saying, I've been on the pot all night. And then we had also mentioned doing Scott on the spot. And so Derek commented, instead of Scott on the spot, we have Scott on the pot.
That's funny. Scott. And I've told Dad, he keeps worming his way out of these cameos. But we'll get him.
It'll happen.
We'll get him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so last week we talked about scarves.
Yes, we did.
Notice anything? I just took 2 ibuprofen before this podcast, and I just realized that I don't get headaches very often.
I was wondering if that was what was doing
it. Tourniquet on my head.
You don't do stuff on your head.
I can't. I bet you that's why I have a headache.
Yeah, maybe instead you could tie a bow in your piggy tail if you want to wear a scarf or something.
That would be something. I already am too conspicuous with my piggy tails. I don't think I'm going to do bows. But let me tell you, this is a costume. I could never. So we've been talking about scarves, and it's an experiment. And experiment fail as far as I'm concerned, because this is not happening ever again. I hope you all enjoy it. But this morning, I'm like, I had to, because I don't have a lot of hair, I had to tease it and to give the illusion that I need the scarf to hold all my hair back. So when I really don't have much hair to contend with. So
it looks so cute.
Yours looks darling.
I don't think it's practical. It's not super comfy.
I know one lady who pulls it off well.
Joyce Marie,
Grandma Joy. Look in the comments on our last podcast, and she gives you some nice scarf tutorials. You laughed. You said you were laughing so hard when you saw her.
Yes, I haven't laughed that hard in a while. That was really something.
If you're on Facebook, go back to the last podcast, and Grandma posts a couple of scarf ideas. She's just a hoot. She looks cute in her scarf.
She looks adorable.
Yeah. So you're gonna post her
I'll
picture
put it here so you all can see how cute she is. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so scarves are a thing. Oh my gosh. I have had a week. I
mean, I was with you on Monday, and that was quite the roller coaster.
I think what's happening is I'm at a crossroads I keep saying yes to everything, and so I'm having a hard time. ADHD, take a drink. I'm having a hard time with stopping. And so this has come up this week, and so I think it might be worth noting. You said when we were running around on Monday taking care of business after our podcast, I lost the key to a property that I needed. Um, and then I lost this, which has my license in it and my credit cards. And you know, I just felt like I had such a flashback to elementary school me. Um, I have this memory of when I was in elementary school and I don't know what was wrong with me. Something, I think I had dirty hands. I was all sloppy and nobody, we were doing something where you had to hold hands and they were all like, ew, I'm not holding your hands. And I'm 54 years old. The memory is still in there. I am telling you, Monday, I'm like a little 6-year-old with dirty hands going, get your crap together, lady. And you were like, and then you were asking me a question. And I just was like, and you're like, and I said, I'm sorry. Words aren't coming to me. And you said, you're buffering.
Processing. And yeah, that was not fun.
I found you were so sweet though. You were very supportive and you kept like coming up behind me and like zipping my backpack. I had my backpack over one shoulder unzipped. I hate what is wrong with me? So and so the buffering thing, and then your Aunt Gail is talking a lot about pausing. And so this seems to be a reoccurring theme in how key pausing is. And I think this might be part of my problem. Like, just because you could do everything doesn't mean you should, but everything sounds interesting. And so I think we're at a place in our business where it's just, I'm trying to figure out, maybe just because we want to do everything doesn't mean we should be. Like, one of the things I like to clean professionally. And so, that came up this week. So, someone I know and love, like, are you sure you should be cleaning? But here's the thing about cleaning. Isn't it meditative? Is that the right word?
Yeah. I think it depends on the person. I think you're super unique and it is for you. I doubt that it is for a lot of people.
Tell us in the comments. How do you feel about cleaning? Because I realized it after I was feeling so gross about my abilities. I was like vacuuming and I'm like, that's one reason I love cleaning, because you're doing a job, but it's a very simple job. It doesn't require you to, but yet you can stay focused on it, so your brain gets a little break, but you're accomplishing something and it feels
that totally makes sense.
Yeah. So it's just been, this week has been you don't even know the half of it, and I won't bore you with it, but that was just the start of the lunacy that was my week. And then we picked up this couch that we're sitting on from someone on Facebook Marketplace, and oh my goodness, bless the soul, an older lady. And we had this whole Venmo thing. And so I get a message yesterday after dealing with some pretty tricky things this week, where you got to see some ugly sides of humanity. I get this message from her after, like, 4 days after we pick it up. And she's like, your payment did not go through. You need to take care of this immediately. And this pause, I'm like, my instant reaction. I was in the parking lot of Home Goods, and I was in my Venmo app ready to send her another $350.
I'm sure you were.
And I'm like, wait, Miki, and I'm like, maybe you weren't wrong. Maybe she's mistaken. So this was a 2-day thing. After I talked to her for a little bit, I'm like, she just doesn't understand the app. And I gave her,
she probably didn't transfer it.
Exactly. She didn't know how to click on her wallet and then transfer. And I mean, I sent her screenshots that it was taken out of our account. I sent her screenshots of how to do it. I said, I have an appointment in your town next week. I will meet you. And slowly but surely, she got a little less mean because she knew I wasn't going to leave her hanging. I promise you, I will get you that money. If you,
Mhm.
but it has already been withdrawn from our account. So anyway,
Oh.
we did figure it out. She finally figured it out. But
Okay.
I've noticed that when you're dealing sometimes with people with, especially technology, if they don't,
Mhm.
they get frustrated and irritated and can get snippy because they're frustrated. So Anne, our wonderful listener Anne, asked us to talk about transitions. For her, it's empty nesting. And so I gave that some thought this week. I've been mulling that over, and I thought it would be good for us to talk about, like, you have been in a transition of going from independent college slash independent adult to, I mean, you're renting, but you guys are building a home. I mean, not literally.
Right.
You've built your first home as a couple,
Yeah.
and how you've. I would like to hear tips from you. You couldn't even think of any when I asked you because I think it's innate. But
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's
but
the challenge.
yeah, I said, but you're so organized in your space. Anybody who's been in your space, and I know it's not either of your favorite place. You're like, this is
Right.
temporary,
Yes. Yeah.
but yet you still have created such a homey environment. Do you have tips?
Yeah, the main thing that I have been trying to do and I think really helps is when you bring something new into your home, like when you purchase something, I always try and get rid of something then. So one thing in, one thing out. And then I think I got almost scarred from living in your guys's basement area last year, just because I had like an apartment full of things from college that was all in one little space, and it was just like a lot in one space. So since moving into this new apartment with my husband, I've just kind of been ruthless with getting rid of a lot of things. And I'd rather have my space look like empty and like there's something that could potentially go there one day than have so many things in the area. Like right now, our living room kind of looks a little barren, but I'd rather have it that way than just have a bunch of things that I kind of like in there.
You just said a lot. You just said a lot. And you know what? Excuse me. The cottage core thing is it I love the way it looks, but it's a little problematic.
Totally.
Yeah, because I love to clean, and what you just said, we for the last year, we had this enormous couch here because we didn't have another space for it. When you moved to the basement, we had to
Right.
pull that up, and it just was too much.
Mm-hmm.
But you're like, but it's a good couch.
Mm-hmm.
And so what you just said, it crystallized when we got rid of that and put this little love seat here. Dad and I both felt that, like, the energy shifted in the room. We could
Really?
see more possibilities. I could get to the curtains. Remember the ridiculous obstacle?
Yes, that's true. Close the curtains.
I think we don't realize how difficult we're making our life by holding on to things.
Yeah, and there has rarely been a time where I've gotten rid of something and then later been like, oh, I really wish I wouldn't have gotten rid of that.
Yeah.
Like, I usually never think about it again.
Yes. So that was my thing as far as the transition when we sold the house we raised you guys in.
Mm-hmm.
And I look back on videos of what I thought was normal before we did our basement.
Mm-hmm.
I like to think that I'm not that I don't hold on to things, but oh my gosh, I have gone through a full metamorphosis
Mm-hmm.
because our basement was disgusting. I mean, we had so much, and so that forced us to evaluate our stuff. We moved from like 2,200 square feet to 1,300 square feet.
Mm-hmm.
For 1 year we had two storage units. We
Yeah.
were paying rent for our stuff. So, that drove Dad absolutely wild, but yet he's more of a holder honor than I am.
Yeah.
So then, but we're like, oh, we can't get rid of stuff because it's the kids, blah, blah, blah. So then one by one, we haven't done this with Eddie, but with you and Zeke, we took you and we thought, oh, well, we need to get permission to get rid of this stuff. And you guys were ruthless. You didn't care.
Yeah.
And then you start evaluating the stuff you're holding on to, like your college textbooks and your notebooks. And you're like, and you just have to ask yourself why. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. You associate memories with an item, but that association, it lives in your head, not. So even stuff that I think, well, someday you're not, because you don't even know the memory that I have associated with it.
Right. Yeah.
So,
oh yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, so that's my recommendation. Move. It was cathartic.
I did see a video the other day, a reel of the second I buy my own house, my mom comes with bins of my things that she's been holding on to drop off. I'm like, yeah, that's probably how you feel.
Yeah,
we have a lot of childhood stuff.
Yeah, we still have a section. We're on a mission to go through that section, but yes, we still have a little section of. But okay, so empty nesting. We never planned to do this, but we sold the house we raised you guys in. And I'm telling you, both Dad and I love a change of scenery. I think I was counting it up. We may have lived in 6 different places since we've gotten married.
Really?
Yeah. And he likes it. And I like it too. And once you guys, it was so funny. As parents, we took parenting, we were as serious as heart attacks about parenting. As anyone really in our circles is. We were not special that way, but your health and safety and well-being, we just wanted to do all the things, and so we sold the house and we went through that, and I switched careers, and I kind of was able to pursue a career in a way that I wasn't able to when you guys were my main focus, even though I always worked. But it was almost like it was almost like another honeymoon, that phase in a way, because we weren't beholden. All of a sudden, all my things that we were trying to be perfect to be good examples were out the window. And remember when you guys were like, what? You guys are drinking diet soda?
Yes.
And eating at Quick Trip? And we started swearing to each other. And I'm drinking wine. And it was kind of like this whole, nobody's watching. Dad hadn't had a drop of alcohol in 25 years. And, he had a beer, and it was we were like kids again. So we did sort of, and then we now we've sort of, our rebellion is over. We're back.
Rebellion is over.
But yeah, so I think a clean slate is great. And I did go through, and the other thing is with the empty nesting thing, we ate at the dinner table. I didn't realize I didn't like cooking until this phase. And Dad came up to me, I remember, after you guys left, and he was kind of like, so we're just not doing that anymore. We're just not cooking dinner anymore. I don't blame him for questioning me, but yeah, I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that anymore. I love you. We're 2 grown adults, and I do cook some food, some once or twice a week, I'll cook a batch of protein. But yeah. So anyway, is that a tip? Have I given you any tip?
Yes. The tip is that it's to embrace the change of, and maybe analyze some of the processes and systems that you had before and use it as a chance to change those things.
Yes. And I get excited about change. Yeah. And that can really fuel your I love what you said about not holding on to stuff so that you could actually envision the possibility and looking at an empty space and how valuable that can be. I'm trying to do that with even this space here, not be in such a rush to refill it now that we got rid of this 8,000-pound couch, just to envision. So yeah, trying to not cling to things, I think, is kind of important.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, so something funny that we wanted to talk about is this podcast. Okay, so if you have a daughter or a son, we all have our little idiosyncrasies and our things and our relationships. We have gotten such a kick out of what this podcast has allowed us to do. Who actually gets to play back conversations between you and your child? And last week we got off. We finished our podcast and we like to tell each other like, oh, like I kind of shouldn't have said that, or I wish I would have said this or whatever. And you tell the story.
I was going through and editing it like shortly after, and I was dying laughing, rewatching something that had kind of like rubbed me the wrong way when we had been actually filming. And I'm like, Mom, you gotta come watch this interaction. So I'll put it here.
Now let's go, as we have, what have I taught you about depression? Like I would love to know what you know about it.
Basically, we were talking about depression and you were trying to be kind and give me a segue, and you go, so what have you learned from me?
As it pertains to me. Let's talk about your depression as it pertains to me. And I could see, do you know how we talk about being empaths and also your own children? You know, before you even know. She gave me this look. I'm like, oh, that did not land. And then looking back, I'm like, we were watching. We're like, there it is. It was almost an eye roll. And yeah, I have a tendency to be, as it pertains to me, type of storyteller. So yeah, this will keep you humble if you start a podcast with your child. Yeah, that was hilarious.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That was really
but
just laugh.
No, it's kind of a great opportunity because you get to, if you can keep your head on straight and not know that you're going to have things that you wish you wouldn't have said or done. Yeah. It's actually great.
It is good.
Yeah. And we don't mind. Like we can tell each other. It's like, you don't love hearing that you goofed up, but thank you for telling me.
Exactly.
So now I can try to, avoid that.
Yes. Yeah. I've seen a handful of like blind spots of mine that I wouldn't have thought of. And it's cool to rewatch it and be like, oh yeah, that comes off a little whatever.
Did I teach you about those blind spots? What did I teach you about those? In my all-knowing. Yeah, I'm not even going to try to defend myself. Yeah, that's the other thing too. You don't have to try to defend yourself. Just own it.
That's what it is.
Yeah, baby. Are we doing okay on I'm so happy. We're really trying to keep it to 30 minutes or less. So we've got this little timer and favorites.
Let's cruise to our favorites.
Aunt Heidi says her favorites is her favorite thing, and I'm on this podcast. And yeah,
really,
she took me up on. Oh, by the way, our BFF / Olivia's sister-in-law Kelly does sell Monet. I don't know that she's really trying to make a business of it, but I do have a hookup. She reached out to us and said I am still selling it.
Okay,
so if you want some thick, luxurious hair like
Piggies.
Mine, you laughed really hard when I was describing my ponytail in high school.
Pinky,
that was
thick, fluffy ponytail.
Because I had a spiral perm, which you probably don't know about spiral perms. And so it was fuzzy. Remember when we were first married, I've told this story. We didn't know about compliments and he was like, "Oh, your hair's so what do you say? Oh,
Frizzy.
oh, your hair's so frizzy." Excuse me? So, and he had no idea that wasn't a compliment, but I just took us sideways here. Sorry. I don't even know what I'm doing. Okay. So Aunt Heidi likes the favorites. Last week we talked about what has helped me with hair growth. And we do have a hookup if you want to order Monet. What's your favorite this week?
My favorite, I got blue lens sunglasses because these are what blue and yellow lens. Well, I think any colored lens is what the trend is right now. So I got these blue lenses and I feel kind of cool when I put them on. And they're functional, like they actually shade the sun. But yeah, it takes a little bit to get used to because you're not used to a colored lens. But apparently this is what people are doing.
Well, I believe it.
So
and you are all Hollywood, girl.
yes. Yeah.
I love it. So I'll have to get me some blue blue light or blue what are they? Blue lens?
Yeah, they're just blue lens, yellow lens, like a colored lens.
Oh, okay. Where'd you get them?
TJ Maxx.
TJ Maxx. Our hookup. I have two favorite. Well, kind of three favorites. I have a candle. I'm gonna burn the house down. Yeah. It's kind of surprising I haven't yet. Do you guys like to light a match? Do you know what is as satisfying as lighting a stick match?
It's true.
Look at this. Maybe $6.99.
I think so, yeah.
You found it. Do you remember?
I think it was $6.99.
Yeah, at Target. And it's got a little case on it.
I know you're gonna
I keep turning my microphone off on these things because I'm a fidgeter. So, and then you strike it on the side there, and I get so much satisfaction out of seeing this on my. I've had it all over the place, but you've got the decor. Plus, it is. I love candles.
Yes,
love candles.
And so functional.
Yeah, and then
adorable.
The other favorite is this outfit that like it feels like pajamas.
Yes.
TJ Maxx.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And you don't have to think about what goes on top and what goes on bottom, which is a challenge.
Yeah, I can't tell you how well that works for a cluttered brain like mine. And the reason I knew I wanted it and loved it is when we were visiting Zeke in Boise,
mm-hmm.
we bought that. I bought a set. Sets are in right now. I hope they stay in. I remember back in the 80s, you wouldn't know, a lot of like these jogging suits were in and then they went out, and now I'm like, they're back, so I bought that green set and I wear it when we travel, when we have to fly or whatever, which I'm always flying all over the place.
It's your airport outfit.
I don't fly that often. But it just works for the cluttered brain. So I was delighted to find this at TJ Maxx. And then I know I'm going overboard, but one more is this. So in the process of getting this monstrosity on my head, which as soon as this podcast is over, this scarf is coming off. This stuff, I don't even know what it is, but it's powder that you put in if you have fine hair. You have to be careful with it. You don't need much of it, but you put it in your hair and it makes it grittier, thicker, so that it gives you the illusion of fullness. And in a hairdo like this, it really worked. So I put this in it and then I teased it a little bit and it made it look thicker. So.
Yeah, it's like texturizing powder.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
All my favorites are probably old news.
No, those were really good favorites.
Were they?
Yeah. It was great.
I'm going to have to keep coming up with, I'm going to keep having to buy new things.
Our hands are tied.
Sorry,
we're going to have to keep.
Sorry, Shane and Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People need to know.
If you want to keep making the big bucks off this podcast, you're going to have to realize. So thank you for being here.
Yeah.
We love you guys. Actually, we're related to half the people, most people who are watching.
Yes.
So yeah, we love you.
Yeah.
No, but we are super thankful. All these folks are here to hang with us this week and every week.
Yeah.
Or whichever weeks you want to tune in.
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep going down that
route. If you could just
you don't
really
have to
define.
listen. Yeah. But you can if you want, but I know you don't. want to. You don't have to. Am I clear? All right. It's been a great time together. So see you next week.
Bye, guys.